sisters, it is Hannah and welcome back to my channel where we keep it straight FTB, that is from the Bible. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell notification for every time I upload. So today we are going to be talking about to change into your husband's creation. So as women, we are supposed to change into our husband's creation. We are supposed to change the way we were before him because we are now a new creature in his body. And this is also why he gives us a new name. Let's go to Genesis 2:23. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man." We become a part of our husband, and how we are, it projects on him. So let's go to Proverbs 31:23. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. So if people know your husband and you are a projection of him, then in a sense, you're kind of vouching for your husband. So if you're out here acting crazy, looking crazy, people are going to look at your husband like, what's going on here? Now, let's look at Ruth's story and see how Ruth changed for her husband and how she adapted to her husband lifestyles. Ruth 1:1-17. Now, it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled, and that there was famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Amalek, and the name of his wife, Naomi. And the name of his 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Amalek, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her 2 sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. And the name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that they might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Most High has visited his people and given them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her. And they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go, return, each to her mother's house. The Most High deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. The Most High grant you that ye may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband." Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, "Surely we will return with thee unto thy people." And Naomi said, "Turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes, that the hand of the Most High is gone out against me." And they lifted up their voices and wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. And she said, "Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people, and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law." And Ruth said, "Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return for following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy Elohim my Elohim. Where thou diest, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Most High do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. She was a Moabitess, and she was married to a Jew. Her husband died. She stuck with her mother-in-law. So she cleaved on to what her husband believed in, even after his death. And she still wanted to serve his God. She still wanted to cleave on to his ways. She said nothing but death is going to part thee and me, meaning she is going to go there and she's going to change and do their customs. This is a law that she followed. She followed Proverbs 31:12. Now let's go to it. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She actually helped him even after his death because she went with his mother. She never left Naomi's side. She was with his mother the whole time. In fact, she was not leaving her. She was like, I don't even care if I find a husband. Nothing but death is going to part you and I. I'm going to cleave to you. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be there with you. And she actually got rewarded for her faithfulness. Now let's go to Ruth 3:1-18. She had an openness to change. And not only did she cleave to her mother-in-law, but that also showed that she cleaved to her husband. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself, therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lay, and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me, I will do. And she went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet, and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, and turned himself, and behold, a woman layeth at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaiden. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaiden, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Most High, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning. Inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doeth know that thou art a virtuous woman. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. Howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, I will let him do the kinsman part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then I will do the part of a kinsman to thee. As the Most High liveth, lie down until the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning, and she rose up before one could know another. And he said, Let it not be known that a woman came into the threshing floor. Also, he said, Bring the veil that thou hast put upon thee, and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley, and laid it on her, and she went into the city. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, "Who art thou, my daughter?" And she told her all that the man had done to her. And she said, "These 6 measures of barley gave he me. For he said to me, Go not empty unto thy mother-in-law." Then she said, "Sit still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the thing this day." Now she listened to her mother-in-law completely and humbly. She did everything that her mother-in-law told her to do. She cleaved on to the customs, even by going to lay at his feet. I mean, being a Moabitess or being from another land, you're not going to understand other people's customs. But she did it proudly. She did it humbly. And these were the customs of her husband as well, because it was the way of his people. So she was actually David's great grandmother. She was blessed. She listened to her mother-in-law and she followed Hebrew's customs very humbly. She went down to lay at this man's feet, not really knowing or even questioning what that was about. She just went and did everything that her mother told her. Now let's go to Proverbs 14:1. "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." So a wise woman is going to become who her husband wants her to be. Because if you're not becoming who your husband wants you to be, and there's arguments and disagreements, that is plucking at the home. This is how a lot of divorces actually happen, because the man and the woman can't agree. If us as women just follow the order that the Most High gave us, and we agree with our husbands and strive our best to be submissive and let the men lead, we will not be plucking our homes down. So let's go to Ephesians 15-17. "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Most High is." So the will of the Most High for women is to follow their heads, to change into what their heads want them to be, and to become a new creature for their husbands. We're supposed to be like blank pages, and our husbands are supposed to write us. Our husbands are supposed to write how we walk, how we talk, how we act, how we dress, how we smell. This is the will of the Most High for women. Just like Exodus 21:10, our husband does pick out our clothing. He is supposed to dress us. So he is supposed to mold us. We are supposed to dress how he wants us to dress, talk how he wants us to talk. He's supposed to dress us. And dressing is not just putting on clothes. It's also putting on a spirit. So let's go to Proverbs 5:1-8. "My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thy ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman will drop as honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell, lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house." So this is the strange woman. This is a woman that is not keeping the law. When you are not operating as the Most High tells you to, you then become strange fruit. You are you're a stranger, because you're not knowing the Most High, and the Most High is not knowing you. So in this case, this is when you are working for the evil one, because you're not trying to change into what your husband wants you to change into. And the Most High says in Ephesians 5 that our husbands are supposed to mold us, and we're supposed to change into his creation. He's supposed to water us with the word, and we are supposed to be moldable and acceptable to that. We have to become like blank pages. And we should not give our husbands a hard time to change us. So Hebrews 13:17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. So, when you are giving your husband a hard time leading you, and a hard time being over you, and a hard time trying to change you, it is unprofitable for you. You're not benefiting anything but the lake. And in some cases, you do have some men that's going to follow Ecclesiasticus 25 and 26. And let's go there. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Once that happened, and once you're parted from your husband, that's a wrap. You are now departed from the Most High's grace. So, sisters, let's change into our husband's creations, and let's do it happily. Let's not give him a hard time. Let's not give him a struggle. I understand that you have to flow into it. Submission, it's not hard. And in some cases, leaving from the world, it takes time. But let's just strive to do the best that we can do. And let's not make it take so much time. Let's be on it. Let's do what we have to do. Remember, my sisters, that submission is your strength. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Hananiah, and shalom.
Yep, I keep the law so he know that I love him. Yeah, that's my master, put nothing above him. He follow, y'all know the scriptures, he perfect. Give him my all so he know that I'm worth it. I'ma keep flowing the way that he want me. Pop just he head with these skits to get ugly. Follow my head so my beauty is comely. No animation, he real dripping from me. No, it's not vain, but I know that it's fact. These Jezebels, they don't know how to act. Fire come from their tongue and the lake is their path. The scorn of a woman to bring us of wrath. I'm gonna honor my head. Yeah, the kingdom worth more than that bread. Yeah, being submissive, my strength. Yeah, I'ma free myself from sin. Yeah. Slowly, right away, we just